You stand up from the couch. Before your feet even hit the floor, a black and white shadow is already up, already watching, already moving with you. You walk to the kitchen. The border collie comes to the kitchen. You walk to the bathroom and close the door, and on the other side of it you hear a small, patient sigh, and the soft weight of a body leaning against the wood. We have a nickname for these dogs. We call them velcro dogs, and we tell ourselves a warm little story about what it means. He can't bear to be away from me. She loves me so much she has to be in the same room. It's a lovely story, and there is real science underneath it. Attachment tests, oxytocin, heart rate studies with names and DOIs we'll put right on the screen. But the honest answer is more interesting than the greeting card version. Because following you isn't one thing. It can be love. It can be a working dog looking for a job. And sometimes, this is the part nobody puts on a mug, it can be anxiety wearing the costume of devotion. Let's separate them. Here's the version you've heard 100 times. Your dog follows you because your dog imprinted on you. You are the pack leader, the whole world, and a loyal dog simply needs to be near its person. The Velcro behavior, in this telling, is pure proof of love. The more they shadow you, the more they adore you. Some people go further. A dog that follows you everywhere is a one-person dog, bonded for life, choosing you above all others. And with a border collie especially, people lean into it hard. This is the breed that tops every smartest dog list. So the shadowing gets read as a kind of soulful, intelligent devotion. The genius dog who has decided you are the most important thing in the universe. Now, parts of this are pointing at something real. Dogs genuinely do form strong bonds with their people. That's not a myth. But notice what the popular story quietly does. It takes every possible reason a dog might follow you and collapses them into one flattering answer: love, and then treats that answer as proven fact. The science is more careful than that. So let's actually look at it. Start with the strongest evidence, because it's genuinely good. In 1998, a team led by József Topol in Hungary did something clever. They borrowed a famous test from child psychology, Ainsworth's strange situation, the one used to measure how infants bond with a parent, and adapted it for dogs. 51 owner-dog pairs. Journal of Comparative Psychology. DOI on screen now. What they found is the heart of this whole episode. Dogs behave differently when their owner was in the room versus a stranger. With the owner present, dogs explored more and played more. After a brief separation, they greeted the owner far more intensely. In attachment language, the owner worked as a secure base, a safe home spot the dog ventures out from and returns to. That's not nothing. That is one of the actual signatures of an attachment bond, the same category we use for a child and a parent. A 2013 study, this time led by Marta Gacci, pushed it further. 30 dogs, published in PLOS 1. DOI on screen. They exposed dogs to a mildly threatening situation and measured not just behavior, but heart rate. When the owner was present, dogs were calmer and coped better than when the owner was gone. The owner wasn't just company. The owner was a safe haven that changed the dog's body. Again, a classic attachment signature. And then there's the famous one. In 2015, in the journal Science, one of the most prestigious in the world, Nagasawa and colleagues reported that when dogs and owners simply gazed into each other's eyes, oxytocin went up in both of them. Oxytocin is the same hormone family tied to bonding between a human parent and infant. Dogs did this. Hand-raised wolves basically didn't. DOI on screen. So put it together and you get a real published picture. Dogs treat their people as a secure base and a safe haven, and there's a hormonal loop that looks a lot like the machinery of parent-child bonding. The bond is real. That part, you can say out loud. Now the part the popular version skips. First, sample sizes. 51 dogs. 30 dogs. Around 30 in the oxytocin study. These are careful experiments, but they are small, and the oxytocin work in particular has been genuinely hard to replicate. Measuring the hormone this way is debated among scientists. A 2015 review by Payne, Bennett, and McGreevy, The Field Looking at Itself, basically says, attachment is a useful model for the dog-human bond, but be careful not to overread it, because human factors and individual differences shape the whole thing. DOI on screen. When the researchers themselves are waving a caution flag, We should too. Second, and bigger, none of these studies actually measured following you around the house. They measured secure base effects and stress buffering and hormones in a lab. My dog shadows me from room to room is our everyday behavior, and it has more than one cause hiding inside it. Think about what following gets rewarded with. When your dog trails you to the kitchen, what happens there? Food. When it follows you to the couch, petting. A dog that follows you is, very often, a dog that has learned, correctly, that being near you is where good things happen. That's not less real than love, but it's learning, not proof of devotion. And with our hero breed, it goes deeper still. The Border Collie was shaped for centuries to stay locked onto a handler and keep a flock gathered and moving. Staying oriented to a person, mirroring your movement, not letting the group scatter, that is the job. So when a collie ghosts you through the house, part of what you may be watching isn't, "I love you," it's a working dog with no sheep, treating you as the flock. Here's the honest hard edge. Sometimes the velcro dog isn't content at all. Sometimes constant following, and real distress the moment you're out of sight, is a sign of separation-related anxiety. The shadowing is the dog managing fear, not savoring your company. The tell is what happens when you leave. A securely attached dog uses you as a base, happy you're back, but able to settle, rest, chew, nap when you step away. A dog whose following is driven by anxiety struggles to settle at all when alone. Pacing, whining, watching the door. So the very same behavior, follows me everywhere, can mean I feel safe near you, or it can mean I don't feel safe without you. Those are almost opposite emotional states wearing the identical costume, and no honest video can tell you which one your dog is from the outside. Only watching your specific dog, especially when you're gone, can start to answer that. So here's what the science actually earns us. You can say, "My dog treats me as a secure base and a safe haven." That's real, it's been measured, and it lines up with how children bond to a parent. You can say, "There's a bonding hormone loop that looks a lot like the real thing," with the honest asterisk that it's early, small sample science. What you can't quite say, not as proven fact, is that your dog follows you purely out of love the way a person means love. Because that same shadow could be learning, could be herding heritage with no flock, could even be anxiety. Usually it's a blend, and a blend is the truthful answer. That's the whole spirit of this channel. We'd rather give you the real, slightly messier picture than a clean fairy tale. The bond is genuine. The story is just bigger than the mug says. If that's the kind of honest dog science you want more of, subscribe. Every episode we put the actual studies and DOIs on screen. No overselling. And I'm curious about your Velcro dog. When you get up and walk away, does your dog settle calmly, or does it pace and watch the door? Tell me in the comments. That one detail says a lot about which story is really yours.